Hey everybody, George here with Torque 307. This is a 2011 GMC Denali. It is pretty loaded. It's got the really nice interior panels and everything. You'll see, not like on a lot of other vehicles, their door panels have completely hidden fasteners. So it's not the old style of pull a couple bolts out of the bottom and pick it up. Now, down here we've got a little hidden panel, and you'll want to pop that up from right above. Behind the door handle, you'll see the little release on the bottom of that. You'll pop it up from the bottom. And this little guy, you don't want to do this wrong, because you'll see this all the time. But if you want to get in right on this side, sorry. Okay, I can't do it one-handed, but I will show you what it looks like when I get it apart. And all you have to do, there is a little catch on the top. If you hook that, and it'll pop straight back at you. It's not going to go to either side. So be real careful with that guy. These two are much easier. So you just got to be a little careful with it. And this one, I don't want to try it one-handed and scratch something. This isn't my car. And I'll get right back to you. Okay, for this project, you are going to need a nice thin little flat blade screwdriver. You will need a stiff putty knife. Cover that. We have, this is a 10mm. Don't lose it. I'm sorry, but here's another 10mm. Don't lose it either. I like to use two different ones just to be sure I can get into the nice tight little places. Okay, after you get the all the clips off, you see how we've got, that's not actually a little flapper. You've got to be careful with it. But that just hooks onto the threads down inside that. But that's the hardest one to get off of there. See, we've got that bolt out of there, that bolt out of there. A lot of these take 2 bolts. I'm not really sure when they stopped adding that second bolt in there, or if this one just happens to not have it. But then after you get those out of there, you're going to want to go around the door and pull out. They make special trim pliers for that, or trim screwdrivers. Personally, I like to use a stiff putty knife. It lessens the dent that you possibly put inside of the door panel, because you don't want to dent this guy. And then you'll go all the way around, start in your bottom corner, and you pull out, and it'll pop. And be careful with it, make sure it's not too cold so you don't break any plastic. But I'm gonna go ahead and pry this off of here and get back to you. Went ahead and popped all those off of there, and then now you'll see down in here we have a door latch, and then where all the wires plug into. You just want to pull this straight out right at this point. Be careful that you don't get your door latch caught up, but you see all our nice little plugs came out real nice. Okay, you want to be careful, and this is what I mean. You see how it's still nice and smooth through here, and if you use one of those trim pliers, you can possibly dent this, and that's not pretty, so we don't want that. But I'll go ahead and unhook those real quick. Okay, now we've got the door panel all out of the way. You'll see I got this guy here. All you have to do is use a pair of pliers and pull that back out from where she comes from, and you won't have any issues with it. You'll just pivot it to the side and pull it right out. This plug, pretty self-explanatory. You can get it undone. Then you'll want to come over here for this handle. You'll see this plug right here. You just reach behind there. There she goes. We've got one more 10mm bolt back in there. And we'll have that handle off. Hey guys, I wanted to show you this part because I didn't want to explain it to you. But get that guy right from the bottom, roll out, she'll come undone. And then that whole section will come out with it. Don't forget about that other 10mm bolt. Now our door handle is unbolted, and you'll see why I didn't take that back bolt out here in a second. But I gotta do this one-handed. But if you keep pressure right here, undo your latch, pull it straight back, you'll get off that hook, and she'll come out just as good as she can. But see, that's why we got to replace this guy. Now I'm going to have to get a pair of pliers and hold that, and we'll be ready to put the new door handle on. Okay, I switched our little rod linkage over. Sorry I couldn't do it with one hand. See, we got a whole new door handle with a nice little gasket. Still got the plastic cover on it. And you want to make sure that she hooks. See that little hook? Very important. And then we'll get her bolted up. Alrighty. Now once you get your door handle bolted back in there, and you get your linkage set back up to where you need it, clip it in place, make sure she's got nice tension. Give her a little tug, make sure she's all in good shape there. Then you're going to want to take something that's about the size of your door latch. Make sure it latches. Then you're going to want to make sure she works. You don't want to shut the door before you make sure it works. Okay. Once you get your door panel back in place, make sure you got your door latch hooked up right. Make sure your window regulator is plugged back in correctly. And then you'll make sure you get the bolt holes lined up where they need to be. And then you can get your trim line back up. Good as new. Put your bolts back in, put your clips back in place, and you'll be done.